Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel here at TrinFX. And this is gonna be a quick and dirty video. I'm not gonna be doing too much editing with this. Um, yeah, so I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for coming back, visiting the channel if you're seeing this video. And I do appreciate your patronage. And for this year, 2024, I just hope that we can all grow together as a community. And I just want to see everybody level up. I want to see everybody make it out there in this industry and just be able to live the best life that I want to. Hey, if 2023 was a rough year, then put all that behind you. Take the couple of lessons from that year and put them into practice, right? Put what you learned into practice this year to help elevate yourself. Okay, guys, so going quickly with the economic calendar, what we have coming up for this trading week, I do believe we do have some heavy news in terms of CPI data we do have coming out. Here on Monday, you can see we have some CHF news, CPI as well. And if we just scroll down, we have some Euro news too, retail sales. So I am expecting a move on this, the Euro side of things. There has been a little bit dovish, but not as dovish as the US dollar. So we still saw some upside in terms of market movement for the Euro. However, I think these are just like continuation trends of the current market movement from the previous year. And I do think that overall we can see these trends continue, especially with the weaker dollar. That should give the euro some room to actually move. So we also have 80 retail sales, right? The Tuesday, not much to pay attention to here. Wednesday, we have some unemployment news. However, the things that I pay attention to when it comes to the euro, is the euro area and not the individual economies making up the European Union. So this is the most important file that you need to pay attention to. Euro area is a generalization, an overview of all the countries that encompass the Euro Union. So this here is the speech that we have coming up. We also need to pay attention to what's being said here. Could possibly influence market movement. The Thursday we have CPI, so heavy on the US economy news. We have CPI data coming, right? Expecting to see a slight decrease from the previous, right? The consensus is 5.7 compared to the previous being 7.0. Right, we have inflation, core inflation, expecting inflation to rise up a little bit. That being said, overall inflation does seems like it's going to be coming down. And then after we have on Friday, we have PPI numbers on Friday. So we have two market moving events on Thursday and on Friday. So it's going to be a heavy, coming to the end of the week, we may see a heavy move on the US dollar side of things. Overall, right now, if we take a look at the price action movements, all right, and let me just get into it real quick. Look at the DXY. We want to start off with the DXY first. So the DXY did see a movement to the upside, as you can see, real strongly starting off on the start of the week, right? We continue with a strong uptrending movement. However, this is only 1 hour. If we take an overview of the wider perspective, get on a wider perspective on it, we can see that actually price is in a pretty strong downtrend. All right, and we did see some pullbacks into this zone that we should be paying attention to right here. Right, so we saw price pull back into the zone in an overall downtrending movement. So overall, I am still bearish on the US dollar, even though we did get some bullishness right there. However, as you can see, when we did have that NFP and we had a PPI, I believe, news come out, not PPI, sorry, ISM, right? We had those news come out and we saw that price initially pull above this zone. And then we saw the movement of the candle here when we have the NFP numbers come out, right? Price came up, failed to maintain that bullish push upwards, right? Came here close right near the opening, and then we saw this pullback all the way down into this zone here. So this just shows me that the US dollar, even though we did have that bullish movement for the past week, overall the consensus is still shorting the dollar. All right, bull market runs sellers are in basically sellers are in control of this market right now. So I do think that the selling pressure would continue on. However, coming closer to the release of these new data, so PPI, core PPI, and when we have core inflation rates coming out, We could expect to see some market movements there or even before the actual news itself. So overall, right now, I am still dollar bearish. For the starting of the week, I am looking for dollar bearishness to see dollar continue moving downwards. We'll see if we get any change in that. But overall, this is the important level that we need to pay attention to. We're going to see price move from this. Most likely, that would be the most likely case. We continue seeing that dollar bearishness. Job numbers were great last week. However, it wasn't enough to move the market to say, okay, at this point, the numbers that we are getting, we're going to have a bullish thesis right now, right? Overall, it wasn't moving to the point where it was unexpected how much job numbers would have risen by. So with that being said, dollar bearishness is the consensus for me. Let's take a look at some currency pairs we could actually trade. So Euro USD is something I'll always look at for this year. I'm really focusing on Euro USD, USD CAD, and sort of Euro USD being my primary, I want to say my primary trading pair. I want to make it my primary trading pair just because I'm at a point where I don't need to be trading as often and could just look for, 1 or 2 trades for the month and call that, a profitable month. So all about longevity. And I wish that everybody, if you're watching this video, I wish that everybody reaches to that point where you don't have to be looking for trades consistently every week. You can just take a break. If you trade 1 week in a month, that's enough to make like a 6-month salary. So I hope that's, a goal that everybody has in mind that's, attainable for them that you want to achieve. So your USD, coming back to it, I am expecting an uptrendish move from here, targeting this next level, right? Take a little look from the daily time frame. We can see that, all right, overall price is pretty bullish. We did have last week again, we did have price pulling downwards from this high because we had that US dollar bullishness basically occurring in the market, right, on a pullback. So that being said, we saw your USD take a decline. However, in the overall look, the overall view of things, we are still in this uptrending market movement. So for me right here, this is a no trading zone. All right, not really much you could do with this. There's just like price bouncing back and forth between 2 areas. We saw price initially spiked up here. We didn't have enough volume to continue to move, and then we closed right about this area here. Now I am expecting price to continue upwards. As I said, I'm more of a dollar bearish, so I'm expecting to see price continue rising here. We do have some numbers to pay attention to for the euro, CPI as well. So I am expecting the numbers not to be too market moving to influence the euro in a bearish way, but we have to wait and see. Overall, in technical side of things, I would like to see price actually rise above this area, and then we get a continuation into those previous highs. Is something that I think is very much expected to happen at the very least. Other than that, I'm also trading NAS 100, right? So indices is something I've recently got into. Right now we can see that overall on the indices side of things, US stocks have been pretty bearish with that dollar bullishness. However, this is in a overall uptrend market movement. Okay, so taking a look from the daily time frame, we can see that all right, price is pretty strong to the upside. Now we have 2 areas of interest right here. This being one and the current area where price is at. So we can potentially see a pullback all the way down into this zone and then look for bulls to continue the market movement to the upside. However, taking a look from the daily, from the 4 hourly, sorry, and the 1 hourly, what I like to see if prices continue moving upwards without retesting that major zone is to actually see price pull past this area here. Now, this is what I'm paying attention to. All right. This was where we had the initial market moving, sort of like in a very, very strong market movement, right? And that was because of job numbers, NFP, right? So we saw price pushed up initially. All right. Then price pulled back down. Okay. And this was when the news and everything hit. And then we kind of zoned out. We kind of just rallied it out right here in this area. Now, with that being said, if the US dollar is weak, usually that's good for stocks. Stocks perform better. So henceforth, I am looking to actually see if that dollar bearishness is actually, going to persist for this week, then we should see a rise in stocks. Where I'll be paying attention to, and this is just NAS 100, different from USDT. Sometimes they will differ in terms of market movement. Right, what I'm paying attention to is this last zone where we had this sort of reaction into. All right, if price manages to pull past this zone, then I do think that we could continue to see some bullishness here on NAS 100. So this is what I'm paying attention to. If price manages to approach this level, we shouldn't see a rejection from it to continue moving down. However, I would be looking for some sort of impulsive move to the upside just to continue, give confirmation for those continuation of bullish movement. Besides that, not much else I'm really paying attention to. The risk on assets such as AUD/USD market movement on these aren't particularly great. Just given the current economic, so like the economic weather. All right, for the lack of a better term. We aren't really in a risk on environment. Therefore, I would say the market movement that you would get from trading risk on assets such as the AD and NCD wouldn't be as profitable, right? As sort of like looking at Europeans or looking at maybe the GBP and so forth. So that's why I'm more so focused on the US dollar side of things, the US cross pairs, rather than the risk on assets. However, if we do get some sort of if we do get particularly good market movement, then I would possibly look for a trade depending on how things are going. But right now I'm keeping my trades themselves to a minimum and just looking for the best setups possible. Right. That being said, those are the only things I'm looking at here: USD, NAS 100, USD CAD, probably, and gold. Gold has been in a downtrend right now, again with that dollar bullishness. However, I would say it's pretty difficult to say where gold will go right now. Overall, we did have this uptrending movement. I do think we can continue seeing that upward market push. However, it's just right now you have to wait and see, really. We could have all these theses, these ideas as where the price may move, but we have to trade where the markets are going, right? So this could completely reverse, continue moving downwards, and we see some more dollar bullishness. And we can't just be, stubborn in our consensus that, okay, this has to go up, it have to go up. That's retail traders mindset. We are retail traders, but we're above that mindset, right? So that being said, I do think that you have to wait to see gold kind of come out of either one of these zones to really get a good setup, right? If gold manages to push right above this area, then we should see a continuation into this one right here. If it pushes below, then we can see a continuation lower, right? Either way, if price manages to move in either direction, we could have a good sort of, good range to actually trade, right? And that's it for me. Those are the only things that I'm watching. Quick and dirty, price action, what we have on the economic agenda, and yeah, that's about it. So thank you guys very much for joining and watching this video. I really do hope that you have a great trading week. If you're here in the VIP group with us or the free Telegram group, then you know how we do. You know how we navigate these markets for those wins and profits. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much, guys, for joining in, and I'll see you in the next one. Probably Wednesday. We may come on live. Right. So that's it, guys. Have a great trading week. Peace.